Good morning, Brooklands. It's Mr. Fullwood here. We're looking at innovation today for our assembly. So let's get right to it. So clearly, there are lots of different ways to solve problems. There might not even be a problem to solve. People just like to innovate. So it's ways in which we can overcome something. Now, it would be wrong for me as a PE teacher not to throw some sport in here for you. So this is a video I watched recently. An old favourite of mine, Will Greenwood, discussing one of the greatest England rugby players ever, Johnny Wilkinson, and his drop goal that won us the World Cup. He's come up with a novel way to make drop kicks in rugby unmissable. So let's have a look at the video.
This is the plan. Scrum half. Perry, you're going to fire it to me. I'm centre. Charge down to there. I'm going to catch it, place it with my right hand so the ball goes backward. Eddie swings through from a 1 yard runner. Unmissable. Boom. Have a little bit.
So that's what we might look at when we're talking about sports, but clearly we need to make sure that the assembly is applicable to all and also to the wider community, the wider world. So what you can see here is good old-fashioned IKEA furniture. Other brands are available. But as we have changed the way that we've made furniture, we've had to change the materials we use. So rather than using screws that have clearly damaged that picture up on the left-hand side, that bookcase, we've had to find new and novel ways of building our furniture. So scientists in the 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, even all the way up to today, constantly trying to find kind of new, stronger glues that would mean that we could fix our furniture together without the use of screws. So we've got our lovely science department, our archetypal scientist up the top there. And eventually they have come up with much stronger glues. So this is a famous advertising campaign at the bottom here, where a glue company in conjunction with Ford have decided to show us how good their product is by sticking a Ford car, I think for all the adults in the room, I think that's a Cortina, might even be a Granada, who knows, by sticking it to a billboard. So a strong glue, hopefully you can all agree. But clearly things don't always work. So the top picture you can see, top left here, this is Dr. Spencer Silver. And he's a renowned scientist, and he worked in America for the Minnesota Manufacturing and Mining Company, also known as 3M. So that's the logo. If you ever played those logo games, the logo you can see in the middle. Now, he decided he was going to devote a lot of time and energy to producing a high quality glue, a super long lasting glue. But to cut a long story short, not short story long, to cut to the chase, he failed. So at the bottom left there is the failed glue. So he tried to come up with a very sticky glue, but what he found is it may have started well, but then gradually over time it failed to work. It got weaker and weaker, and any furniture that it was used on would fall apart. So what we had was one of his fellow scientists, a Mr. Arthur Fry. You can see him there, bottom right. He decided to use some of that failed glue. He wasn't going to be deterred, and he used it top right to hold a bookmark in place in his church choir. But they kept falling out, and then he had an idea, an innovative idea, you might say. See what I did there? What if you had a product that could actually be relied on to be very long lasting, but had a weak glue? So what do we think he might have come up with? So did anyone guess? Hopefully we've got a couple of bright sparks in the room. It's a post-it note, something that we've seen in every classroom, in every school across the whole of the UK and the world. So he took a failed idea and he's built it into a multi-billion-dollar pound company. So you can see down the bottom there, $7.3 billion in profits made by Post-it notes. So that's about £5.5 billion, give or take, when we made this. I can't remember what the exchange rate is now, but needless to say, he's made a few bob. Finish off. He may have made a few pounds, a few dollars, but clearly he doesn't know how to have any fun. Never leave Post-it notepads around in a PE department during a meeting, because we'll find a novel, innovative way to use them. How many can you stick on your face in a minute? 55 being the world record. I'm sure we'll have to have a go. I wouldn't suggest you do it now. Teachers wouldn't be happy. And please use your own Post-it notes. Post-it notes in a school are like gold dust. But hey, give it a go. You could get yourself in the Guinness Book of Records. Who knows? So thank you for listening, Brooklands. This has been my first attempt, hopefully not a complete disaster. So what is innovation? Innovation, it can be anything. You can see here an idea that as a friend hasn't worked, but maybe you can help to push it in a new direction. A drawing maybe that just needs a slight alteration in a colour. A cooking project, this happens to me a lot, that might have started off as supposed to be a solid dish, turns out into be a liquid. Clearly I meant to make a soup, if you ever ask my family. And there's no such thing as failure. It's just opportunities to try something new, to enjoy a new task. Why not give it a go? Have a great day, people.